All right, guys. Good afternoon. Tonight we have some homework to do. I know I was going to wait until Wednesday, but I've decided not to put this off just because we need to get going, at least where I want to head to with you guys before the end of school. So I want you guys to do questions, the first 5 questions in your study guide, questions 1 through 5, and read pages 468 to 471. Which some of you may have read already if you'd gotten that email back on Sunday night. So make sure you guys read that and get that taken care of. So today we're going to cover just talking about something that happens right after the war, which is strikes will break out. The reason why people are having strikes break out is because workers are enjoying higher wages. They are making a ton of money during the war. Like we said, the reason why the middle class for the very first time can attend college is because of the profits that were being made off the war. The first dash, the war ends and prices take away the gains. The war ends and takes away, and prices take away the gains. So as the war ends, prices start taking away all the gains. Workers demand even higher wages. Workers demand higher wages, but once again, as we've already found out, workers are also constantly still looking at getting shorter hours. So as they're calling for higher wages, they're also asking for shorter hours. Letter B. The first strikes that happened is a big giant dock worker strike in Seattle in 1919. In 1919, 110 different unions will join with the dock workers and strike. So this becomes a citywide strike. Newspapers label this as an immigrant uprising. The mayor, which by the way, his name was Ole Olson, can't make this up, that was his name, Ole Olson. Mr. Olson says it's a communist plot. He says that it's communists that are doing this. And so the mayor will call for, communist plot. I'm sorry, yeah. Oh wait, no, this is, communist plot. The mayor calls for troops despite the fact that the strikers are completely peaceful. None of them are striking. None of them are using violence. They're just striking. After about 5 days, the workers stop their strike because the public begins to believe it is a communist plot. Even their kids start asking their dads, "Are you a communist?" So once that happens, dads can't keep on striking knowing that their kids are being a communist because of what their dad is doing. So that strike unsuccessfully ends for the dock workers. Letter C. The Boston police strike also happens right around the same time. This strike is over long hours, low pay, and a need for weapons. Now, let me tell you about weapons very quickly. Please understand, our police officers were modeled after Britain's police officers, the bobbies. And so they were armed, just like bobbies, with the nightstick. That was their weapon. The only problem is this is, like we already mentioned, this is the time of Prohibition. And many a gangster isn't just carrying a knife or their fist. Instead, they're carrying guns, and some of them are carrying machine guns, and some of them have grenades. The police officers are legitimately asking to be able to be armed. Now, the police commission comes back and says, "Oh, sure, we'll let you arm, but you're going to pay for the guns." And the police officers are like, whoa, we don't make that much money to pay for a gun. We think the police department should pay for our guns. And the police commissioner comes back and says, no, we're not going to pay for your guns. So this was another problem that the police were facing. The police commanders gains the scrutiny of the police commissioner when several leaders in the police force attempt to unionize. So when they start to unionize, that's when these commanders of these different precincts come under scrutiny by the police commissioner. Please remember that a commissioner form of government is where we have 5 to 9 individuals that are commissioners and they run your city government. Well, Boston had a police commissioner, and the police commissioner gets extremely angry with his commanders because his commanders are suggesting that they should unionize. Not good. So several commanders will be fired by the police commissioner, for trying to unionize. Several of the police commanders will be fired by the police commissioner for trying to unionize. The officers in protest will walk off the job. So the officers start supporting their commanders and they say, fine, if you're going to fire our commander, then we're not going to come to work. So the officers in protest will walk off the job. There will be 2 nights of untamed violence and looting until a volunteer police force is organized to restore order. So there's 2 nights of violence and looting until a volunteer police force will be organized to restore order. Just think about this. 2 nights without any police officers in the city of Detroit. That would be absolutely crazy. And for that matter, any major city at this, even today or then, 2 days with no police officers. That's kind of scary. The governor, Calvin Coolidge, will call out the National Guard. The governor, Calvin Coolidge, will call out the National Guard. Now, here's a real quick point here. The problem is this. The volunteer police officers had already brought the city back under control. But Calvin Coolidge decided, no, it doesn't seem to still be under control. The police commissioner is calling me and telling me that it's still not under control. And so he brings in the National Guard. The newspapers call it a communist plot that's trying to overthrow our government. The police reluctantly walk back to work, but find out that they're being replaced by unemployed police veterans, and they don't have a job anymore. They have lost their job. Now, Calvin Coolidge is called a hero because he at least perceived like he did something when everybody else hadn't. What the big problem is still is that these police officers, overworked, underpaid, without guns, are facing a growing criminal problem in the 1920s and into the 1930s, and they desperately need help. And the police commissioner and the governor at this point just doesn't see the need. So this is going to be these are going to be the rough next 10 years, this decade of the 1920s. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys enjoy the sunshine. I know warmer days are coming, and probably looking forward to that as well. All right, guys, have a good day. See ya. Bye.